What if the oceans were made of soda? Not just a little soda, not just a thin layer floating on top of salty water. No. Imagine the entire volume of Earth's oceans, over 1 billion cubic kilometers, replaced with bubbling, sugary, carbonated soda. The Atlantic, the Pacific, the Indian Ocean, all vast, endless seas of fizzing, foaming, soft drink. At first glance, this might sound awesome. A planet where the beaches are lined not by salty waves, but by sweet, sparkling soda. Imagine kids building sandcastles next to waves of cola or lemonade. Picture ships slicing through dark, caramel-colored waters, leaving trails of bubbles in their wake. Maybe dolphins would leap through fountains of foam, and whales would spout geysers of fizz high into the air. You could grab a giant straw, stick it into the ocean, and take a sip, right? But as with most wild what-if ideas, things would get weird, fast. First, let's talk chemistry. Seawater is more than just water with salt in it. It's a carefully balanced mixture of minerals, gases, and nutrients that supports life. Soda, on the other hand, is a mix of sugar, carbon dioxide, acids, and flavorings. Swap seawater for soda, and you've instantly doomed almost all marine life. Fish, corals, plankton, whales. They can't survive in that sticky, acidic soup. The pH of the ocean would drop drastically, becoming far more acidic than the most extreme ocean acidification scenarios scientists worry about today. Shellfish wouldn't just have trouble making their shells, they'd dissolve. Coral reefs would become lifeless skeletons. And the oxygen levels? Soda is carbonated, packed with dissolved CO2. Marine animals rely on dissolved oxygen, not carbon dioxide. So with soda oceans, everything from sharks to shrimp would suffocate. Within days, the oceans would turn into massive dead zones. The smell? Imagine trillions of dead fish, whales, and crabs floating in syrupy soda under the hot sun. Not so refreshing now, is it? But let's not stop at the biological disasters. Soda oceans would mess up the climate too. Our oceans play a huge role in regulating Earth's temperature. They absorb heat from the sun during the day and release it at night, keeping the planet's climate stable. Soda doesn't have the same properties as seawater. It would heat up faster and cool down differently, throwing off weather patterns. You might get supercharged storms over the soda seas, fueled by warmer, fizzier oceans. Hurricanes would churn up sticky waves that spray sugary rain over the land. And don't forget the carbon dioxide. All that soda would be constantly releasing CO2 as it goes flat. The air would fill with greenhouse gases much faster than it does now. The carbonated oceans would act like giant soda bottles left open on a summer day, fizzing out CO2, contributing to global warming. We'd be accelerating climate change in the stickiest, sweetest way imaginable. Now picture the coastlines. Soda evaporates just like water, but it leaves behind the sugar and additives. Beaches would get coated in layers of crusty, sticky residue. Sea spray wouldn't be refreshing, it would leave your skin tacky and attract swarms of insects. Any plants near the coast would struggle. Sugar isn't great for most vegetation. Salt-tolerant plants would die out, replaced, if anything, by strange fungi and molds thriving on sugar. What about people? Could we use soda oceans for drinking water? Sadly, no. Soda dehydrates rather than hydrates. The sugar content and acidity would damage your kidneys over time, and drinking nothing but soda would make you sick pretty quickly. Desalination plants would be useless. You'd need desodaination plants, and no such technology exists, because no one's ever had to think about filtering soda back into water on a global scale. Navigation would change too. Ships are designed to move through water, not sticky syrup. Engines would clog, hulls would get coated in grime, and barnacles, if any survived, wouldn't have clean surfaces to cling to. Ports would be a nightmare of gooey buildup. Fishing would obviously be finished. The entire shipping industry would have to redesign vessels to handle syrupy seas, if it were even possible. And what about sea level rise? Interestingly, soda is less dense than seawater, so if you swapped the oceans for soda, sea levels would actually drop a bit at first. But that small advantage wouldn't last long. because all the ecological collapse and climate chaos would likely melt ice caps faster, leading to rising, sticky tides anyway. Rain cycles would also change. As soda evaporates, most of the water would leave behind sugars and additives. The rain itself would still be fresh water, nature's way of purifying what it takes. But all the coastal pollution from evaporated soda would run back into rivers and lakes, turning them into sugary messes too. Eventually, the stickiness would spread. And let's not forget the insects. A world with soda oceans would be a paradise for flies, ants, and other sugar-loving bugs. Coastal cities would fight endless swarms of pests, attracted by the sweet, decaying sludge along the shores. In short, while it might sound fun at first to live on a planet with oceans of soda, it would quickly turn into a sticky, smelly, insect-infested disaster. The beauty of Earth's oceans is that they are perfectly tuned for life as we know it. Turning them into giant carbonated beverages would destroy ecosystems, wreck the climate, and leave humanity scrambling to survive on the edge of a sugary apocalypse. So next time you sip a soda, be glad it comes in a can, and not in a giant planet-sized bottle.